Hello, everyone, and welcome to TOKENVERSE, a podcast powered by FMFW.io, where we discuss the ins and outs of crypto, bringing you meaningful and mission-driven conversations based on trust and growth. I am Bogdan Popa, FMFW's head of community and today's host. And before we dive into today's episode, it's important to mention the following disclaimer. This podcast episode is not financial advice nor any offer or solicitation to purchase an interest in any entity or investment vehicle. This podcast is for the purpose of informing users of activities occurring on fmfw.io and for educational purposes only. And as everyone knows by now, we are excited to be celebrating our 3rd anniversary, and we want you to celebrate with us. We have 1 month long of activities and prizes up to $100,000, and they are waiting for you. Right now, the Tune.fm trading competition is live by the time the episode airs, and the competition is fierce. You can compete with other traders and climb the rankings by trading the GEM/USDT pair now. Terms and conditions apply. And now, without further ado, it's time to introduce our guest on our episode. So it's a pleasure to be joined by no other than Andrew Antar, the CEO of Tune.fm, and he's here to talk to us about Tune.fm's mission within the music industry and how the project is aimed to better serve artists and music fans too. Andrew, it's a pleasure to be joined by you today.
It's great to join. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's start by introducing yourself to our listeners and get them to know you a little bit better.
Sure. I'm Andrew. I'm from Philadelphia. Now spending most of my time in Miami. I'm a lifelong musician, classically trained, toured the world. I'm a technologist, developer, designer. I went to Brown University. I started the first startup incubator there, and also started a hedge fund, and decided to combine my passions for music, tech, and finance into creating this project, Tune.fm. And we are a Web3 decentralized music streaming platform, as well as a music NFT marketplace, all of which is powered by the JAM token, now listed on 20 exchanges, including FMFW, and our new trading pair, JAM USDC. And so we chose USDC because I think Circle is more robust than Tether, and also we're amongst just a few other trading pairs on USDC, so very easy to find on FMFW. And yeah.
Well, thank you for the introduction. You are a real polymath from what I'm learning about you. It's definitely interesting that you have been a musician and that you've been in a position of creating music, and you definitely understand what creators in the music industry need, right?
Yeah, I've had the privilege of meeting so many talented musicians throughout my life, and felt that it's one of the most underserved populations, and it's probably the most important form of media that's woefully undermonetized. And
Absolutely.
artists are constantly being screwed over by record labels, by publishers, by the industry. And I want to create a level playing field that helps creators monetize more easily, so that they can, better earn a living and also get what they deserve for their music.
Absolutely. I really admire that. And that definitely gives you an edge. Your experience as a musician gives you an edge when it comes to building Tune.fm. And actually, that takes me to the next question, which is for our listeners that are not so familiar with the Tune.fm, can you please describe what the project is about and what the mission behind the project is?
Yeah, so our mission, or our motto, is when the music gets played, the artist gets paid. And so
I love it.
we pay artists directly for every second that their music is listened, and they get paid instantly in micropayments. And this is only possible using the most robust, fastest, most secure distributed ledger technology called Hedera Hashgraph. And so we're a flagship use case on Hedera Hashgraph. And our own native token, the Jam token, is actually a layer 1 token. So it's not a smart contract based. So it's extremely fast,
Yeah,
extremely secure, and we could do micropayments that are a fraction of a penny with little to no fees.
that's great. Now I'm curious, actually, how would you break down the project's ecosystem when it comes to the utilities that it offers to its different classes of users?
Yeah, so the Jam token has many use cases. I'd say the primary use case is music streaming. The
Yeah,
main way that that works with the Jam token is that as music is streamed, micropayments are streamed from the listener directly to the artist. But also, it can go the other way around. So there's a play to earn model where artists can promote their music using Jam, and listeners can actually get paid to discover new music that they haven't heard before. And so you could make money listening to music on Jam on Tune FM as well.
that's great. So basically, you are targeting both artists and listeners as well, and you're trying to bridge the gap between them. It's basically connecting the listeners and artists in a better way, right?
Yeah, currently there's no connection directly between artists and fans on other platforms,
Right.
Spotify and Apple Music, and we're actually cutting out several intermediaries and middlemen so that you can go direct to fan, and listeners can and fans can support artists they love directly, and therefore artists can earn 10 to 100 times more than they would for streaming on Tune FM.
That's game changing, especially when it comes to small artists that are just coming up and they really need to provide funding to be able to keep playing and keep living the lifestyle of an artist. This is game changing.
Yeah, and we also want to provide tools for the smaller artists to gain a bigger audience. And so that's one of the hardest things for small artists is to break through. And so, say they have several thousand listeners, the jam that they earn can then immediately be reinvested in their career and widening their audience so that as they earn, they can invest that into getting new listeners. And if their music is really great, then they'll get a return on investment because if they gain a new listener who's never heard of them before, and then they stream their song multiple times or stream other songs, then they end up earning more for every jam that they put in.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a game changer. And that actually takes me to the next question, which is touching on the roadmap. Could you please walk us through the current stage of the roadmap and how does the next step look like?
Yeah, so we've launched our music streaming platform. It's sort of like Web3 Spotify. We have over
Yeah,
10,000 artists, over 100,000 users, over 500,000 transactions. And um, we are now sort of rounding out the phase of getting more exchanges, including FMFW, decentralized exchanges. We just launched on the first Hedera DEX called Saucer Swap, bridges and interoperability, so we're on Hashport, and
yeah.
wallets. So we have 20 exchanges and DEXs, over a dozen wallets. And now that we have all this sort of connective tissue and the ecosystem established in a big way and liquidity, robust liquidity throughout. Now, the number one goal, the next phase is launching the NFT marketplace, the music NFT marketplace, which is our biggest focus right now.
Right. And do you feel like it's gonna be challenging to achieve that step, or do you feel confident in how the things progress right now?
I'm very confident because it's already feature complete and it's in the testing stage. And
No, that's great.
yeah, so any week now, we'll have it out, uh, whitelist invite only, and very soon after that, open to the public. And so we've already been working on it for the last 6 months to a year. And it's very exciting because we're the only NFT marketplace that's purposely built for music that has lossless streaming, and it's within a music streaming platform. So we're vertically integrated. And because of that, we can do things that no one else can do. So, for example, we have streaming royalties that you can attach to an NFT so that as music is streamed on Tune FM, a portion of those micropayments can go to the new NFT holder according to how the artist mints their token. So that's something where you can essentially invest in an artist's career and earn jam as that music is streamed. And so we also have unlockable perks. So exclusive experiences and access like meetups with the artists, VIP packages, backstage passes, tickets, merchandise, all kinds of whatever the artist can think of to put together for their fans in a limited way. We can do multi-tiered drops. So multiple NFTs can drop in one package. And you can have different tiers. Say tier 1 is 1 of 1, and tier 2 is 10 of 10, and tier 3 is 100 of 100 editions. For example, you can do something very similar to what Blau, the DJ, did, where he dropped
Yeah,
33 NFTs that netted $11.6 million, where the 1 of 1 was about 3 to 4 million. There was two of two, which were around 3 to 400,000, and then 30 of 30, which were about 60 to 80,000 apiece. And they each came with different levels of perks, as well as the digital asset. So we can also support multiple media files, multiple images, multiple songs, multiple videos, GIFs, even ebooks. There's many ways you can package up your NFTs. You can sell them fixed price or auction. And so we're really creating a very robust, feature filled marketplace that's unlike anything the world has ever seen.
it really sounds like it's unlike anything we've seen. And, I'm a big music fan myself, and I have a couple of favorite artists. And I can definitely tell that as a music fan, and as music fans in general, the hardest thing to do is actually to get closer to the artist, especially when they get past that point when they're not a small or medium artist anymore. And to actually be able to be part of special experiences with artists is something that a lot of fans are looking for. So this is definitely going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has a few artists that they absolutely love or obsessed with, even. And we feel that, well, it's just obvious that it's very difficult to get access to artists, and access is the highest value
Yeah,
thing. And for a super fan, access can mean the world. And so, say your favorite artist who has millions and millions of followers is offering a meetup with them, whether it's backstage or dinner or some sort of exclusive experience where you fly out to a location to spend time with them in person or even a FaceTime. These types of experiences can be auctioned off and potentially make for the artists and end up costing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars.
absolutely. Yeah. It's actually funny because last week I went to a concert to my favorite artist, and he is, I would say, a medium artist when it comes to popularity. And the concert was actually pretty intimate. It was a small room, and you could actually be very close to the stage. And I got to meet the artist, but I was just thinking, one of my thoughts was, this could have been a meeting based on an NFT utility, and I'm sure we will get there.
Absolutely, and that's essentially what we're offering is you can have NFTs which unlock access to the artist directly. And if it's a smaller artist, it can be affordable, and bigger artists, it really depends what the market will bear. But because these are limited experiences, artists can't meet all their fans, but they can maybe meet one or two, maybe up to five. It really depends,
Yeah,
what their schedule is and what they're doing, what they're willing to do. But this enables them to offer these types of experiences as NFTs.
absolutely. And now I was actually curious because you mentioned that there are so many possibilities for artists to customize the utilities around NFTs. Is it up to every artist to offer whatever experiences in terms of course, technical boundaries? Is it up to them to decide what kind of experiences they want to offer for NFTs?
Yeah, absolutely. They can offer whatever they want. We just create the feature of the unlockable perks. So you can add
Yeah,
perks to your NFT, as many as you want. And basically, there's a title and description. And if you are the owner of the NFT, you can unlock the information that's private, which
yeah.
would enable you to set up that experience.
Well, that's really awesome. Um, Now, actually, let's touch on NFTs and the music industry in general. What role do you think NFTs will play in the music industry, and how big the impact will be, let's say 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line?
I think that NFTs will have a massive impact on the industry and disrupt the incumbent business model. NFTs can be used in many different ways for music that they haven't been used in the past. I think the royalties model, selling an album as an NFT, bringing digital scarcity to a world of digital abundance, and also experiences. You combine all these things that are all enabled by NFTs. It's really a game changing new business model for the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Especially when it comes to even just small things like tickets, for example.
Oh, yeah.
A ticket being an NFT, like it would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that NFTs are specifically well suited for music.
Mm.
But the NFT boom that we saw had nothing to do with music. It was very limited to profile pictures and JPEGs. I think is the most limited possible use case of NFTs. Tokenization can be used in so many different ways. And so for music, there's many different ways that NFTs, obviously the experiences, but also ticketing, as well as royalties, as well as just creating tokenization for the albums and songs. All of this can really change the way the music industry works and the way it's monetized. And we're putting it all together in one place that you can actually access all these things. And it's really a matter of just building the right features for artists to be able to mint these types of NFTs and create these types of experiences in ways they haven't done before.
Absolutely. Now, I'm curious because it's already September, and as time literally flies, especially in our market and in our industry, I was wondering, how did the first part of 2022 feel like for you and the team, considering everything that has happened in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, 2022 was the first half was really amazing. Um, you know, the market was still doing really well, and
Yeah.
we were able to, list our token on many different exchanges at the time, and really start building out all of the NFT features and do a lot of marketing and hit a lot of big milestones. And now that the market has cooled down, we're focused on building and our product and just creating value and utility and releasing these features. And, we're survivors, so we'll survive through the crypto winter and we'll emerge stronger during the next market boom.
Absolutely. I have no doubt about that. And since you've mentioned marketing, I think it would be great to touch on Tune FM's community for a minute. I'm curious, how do you and the team approach community building, and how much can the community contribute to your project?
Yeah, so the community is an essential part of Tune FM. We have I think 30 or 40,000 on Twitter, about 20,000 on Telegram, about 10,000 on Discord, different places that we have community members, and over 100,000 on Tune FM and globally. So, our community is what gives us the strength to do everything that we do. So, it's very important. We have several community managers who help answer questions and guide people. And we even have a Million Jam whale club, so in a private group, and in which people who hold over 1 million jam are able to join and get exclusive news from me directly.
That's great. I like the idea of a private group and rewarding the most loyal fans.
Yeah, so that's been very popular, and that's I answer questions and drop exclusive news, before it's publicly announced, stuff like that.
That's amazing. Actually, I'm curious. Do you ever get moments when a community member comes up with an idea and it's kind of like an aha moment when you are like, oh, it's interesting. How did we not think about this before?
Absolutely. I was on a call with an artist who's very involved with the Hedera community and Hashgraph and really wants to see music NFTs. And he mentioned, he asked if our NFT marketplace was going to be 412 compliant. And what that means is HIP 412. HIP is a Hedera improvement proposal. And it was a new feature that was approved that was going to enhance the token service on Hedera to enable multiple files. And so you could have multiple songs on one NFT or multiple images. And so we added that 412 compliance to our NFT marketplace and of course, I was, I hadn't thought, I was thinking, you have one song for an NFT, but why not have a whole album on one NFT?
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I was actually curious to know more about artists and collaboration since I'm a big fan of collaborative initiatives. I'm wondering how TuneFM approaches collaboration with other projects, authorities, and why not music professionals and the music industry itself.
Yeah, so the NFT marketplace is really where that's going to shine. We've already had a lot of conversations with some big celebrity artists to help them design their music NFT drops, and so some big influencers with millions of followers and millions of fans in different countries around the world. We're working with them to strategize and how to create the most impactful NFT drop on our platform. And so once the platform is launched and ready, we're going to have some really exciting new collaborations with artists that you're going to see on the platform in the form of NFT drops.
That's amazing to hear. Actually, how do you feel about the general response and feeling when it comes to artists hearing the first time about TuneFN and what you're trying to build?
Generally, artists are super excited because they're fed up with the existing system and they want something new and new ways to monetize. And we're really the answer to that. We're the antidote to the antiquated industry.
That's great. Do you see any reluctancy because of the technology gap between blockchain and what artists are used to deal with at the moment?
Well, we've taken a very different approach from most Web3 services. So I've heard a lot of stories of NFTs drops that go bad because their fans have no idea how to deal with MetaMask or Ethereum or exchange.
Yeah.
So we don't have that problem because we're not using any of those tools. With us, you don't have to understand how crypto works. You can just sign up with an email and password. We automatically create your wallet that's non custodial. and we airdrop you tokens so you can start. And then you can easily buy an NFT with a credit card, and it's buying Jam to buy the NFT. And so you don't have to deal with installing third party Chrome extensions, going to other exchanges and fiat on ramps and off ramps. We put everything together in one place and make it very accessible and easy for anyone who's non crypto native. And I feel that's very important UX problem to solve. In order to really for Web3 to flourish, it needs to be accessible, and the user experience has to be very normal and familiar. And so, with music fans, it's not necessarily your audience are all NFT buyers who are flipping, NFTs on OpenSea for a living. These are fans of the artists. They might not own any Bitcoin at all or have a Coinbase, let
Yeah,
alone understanding private key custody and MetaMask and exchanges. This is all very foreign. So you can't expect these people to, have hours of onboarding, let alone, 45 minutes plus or an hour just to get set up, even if you're fully familiar with these things. You should be able to just buy an NFT within a minute, you know, with a credit card.
that's definitely the goal. And I really agree with you when it comes to accessibility and user experience. I think a lot of projects, they are building the right things and the right products for the right needs, but the accessibility is lacking, and that can literally turn people away.
Yeah, so we feel that we need to bundle in all of these features together: the fiat on ramps, the wallets, as well as the experience, the streaming with NFT Marketplace. In many cases, when you put that all together and you make it simple, then it works. Right now, a lot of NFT projects, you're on one website and then they say, "Oh, you have to buy this on OpenSea," and then you go to another website and they're like, "Oh, well, now you need a MetaMask to log in." We're like, what the hell is that? And then they get that and they say, "Oh, now you need Ethereum." Well, how do I get that? I'm like, "Oh, well, now I need to get Coinbase." And then, oh, I have to wait 2 days for my KYC, and then it didn't get approved, and then blah blah blah, and then finally, you buy some Ethereum and like, oh, how do I get it over to MetaMask? Oh, I have to send it. Now I sent it to the wrong place, and then oh, the gas fees cost $300, and then by that time you just throw your hands up and say, you know what, I don't need to spend $1,000 on this JPEG of a monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably give up before hitting many of those steps.
Yeah, you lose 90% of your audience. And then it's really just speculators. And that's why the whole community has not really been healthy in that way. Whereas we want to provide very high utility NFTs that actually mean something to the common person, and then provide them a very smooth, easy experience where if they can use Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, or any website for that matter, Amazon, then they can easily buy an experience from an artist they love, within minutes and have no problems whatsoever, or need to go to any other website or third party service.
And that alone will definitely solve the accessibility problem when it comes to music fans getting closer to the artists through the blockchain space. Now I'm curious because you have mentioned quite a few features that you want to pack together in one platform. Are there any of these features besides launching the marketplace itself part of your plans for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are going to come out sort of all together. Um, Send and receive, KYC, fiat on ramps and off ramps. All of these features are already built, but they're sort of all integrated and packaged together to launch with the NFT marketplace. So a lot of these things, which will sort of open up the platform in many ways, will come out very soon.
Well, that sounds exciting. And do you plan to hold special events or, let's say, community events for the launches of these features? Something that actually gets people to try the features hands-on and maybe even see how the features work before then try them?
Yeah, so we plan to have a whitelist invite only period in which we invite artists that we've been talking to and working with to use the features and create their NFT drops, and then we'll have a public open access period in which we do a lot of marketing and bring on the public to sign up for these NFT drops, and then we'll have the moment when they all come online. So there'll be a countdown, and then you'll be able to buy the NFTs.
That sounds exciting. As a music fan, I definitely keep my eye on your channels for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm actually curious, how do you see the rest of the year shaping up? Are there any events, moves, or updates that our listeners and community have to keep in mind?
So the biggest focus for us now is getting this marketplace up and running, and then improving our liquidity. And also, there's a lot of events happening in Dubai for the blockchain month, and
Yeah,
and then there's many events on my radar. I haven't really chosen which ones exactly I will be going to, but we'll be at a lot of different events towards the end of the year.
that sounds good. Please make sure that you check in with our team as well, because we might actually run into each other at some of these events.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll look for you guys and I'll let you know. We'll let the community know when I'll be at a certain conference. We went to a lot this past year. Bitcoin conference in Miami and NFT week and all these things. NFT NYC, many different events. So that'll probably start up again towards the winter time.
Absolutely. You must have created a lot of great connections on those events.
Yeah, absolutely. I've met hundreds of people, and we'll be working with them and following up with them and making those connections.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Um, Andrew, do you have any last words for our community and our listeners? Where can they find more about TuneFM, and how can they stay in touch with you and the team?
Yeah, so go to tune.fm. You can easily find there our communities on Telegram, Discord, Twitter, and elsewhere, Instagram and Facebook. Um, Definitely follow the updates on Twitter, and go to FMFW and check out our Jam USDC pair on the USDC tab, and have a good time.
Thanks a lot. And that's a wrap for our episode. Andrew, I would like to thank you so much for your time and for answering all my questions and for being such a great guest.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you too. And to our listeners, please remember, our third anniversary party is on and it keeps going. We have a lot of surprises prepared for you, and the best way to take advantage is to sign up, invite your friends over, and compete for up to $100,000 in prizes. And don't forget to sign up and compete for the Tune.fm trading competition. You are competing for 17,000 gem tokens, and the competition is fierce, so make sure to trade the gem USDT pair, and the only way to climb the leaderboard is to trade a pair and to share it with your friends. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Keep an eye on all our channels. We have a lot of activities coming up. Our birthday party is going on for a whole month of September, and there's a lot coming up. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and have a great one.
Thanks.